you know, life is the greatest teacher. You learn things through what you experience. And so that was hard because trust issues, you know, you just don't know who to trust. You don't know who likes you for you.
Word on the streets is that Brandy is heated. And it's all because Monica allegedly exposed her for using drugs. After that wild onstage breakdown in Chicago, what was supposed to be a legendary comeback turned into one of the messiest R&B scandals we've seen in years. Fans were left speechless, and the internet still buzzing like crazy. That night changed everything. People who were at the concert said Brandy didn't seem right at all. She was shaking, slurring her words, and clearly struggling to keep it together before she vanished backstage. Then came the whispers. Supposedly, Monica told folks behind the scenes that Brandy wasn't okay and that everyone needed to pray for her. Next thing you know, rumors started flying that Brandy had overdosed, and the story spread like wildfire overnight. But to really understand how this all blew up, we gotta rewind a bit. It all started with The Boy Is Mine, the hit that made them both legends. So when Brandy and Monica announced the Boy Is Mine tour, fans were losing their minds. This was supposed to be history in the making, two icons finally reuniting after decades of tension, shade, and quiet beef. The hype was insane. Every city they hit was sold out, and people were calling it the biggest R&B tour of the year. But then came October 18th, the night that flipped everything upside down. They were performing in Chicago at the United Center. The energy was electric. Fans were ready for that classic duet, and then, boom! Brandy suddenly walked off stage. No warning, no goodbye, just gone. The crowd was frozen in confusion, and within minutes, clips of her leaving hit social media. Fans were reposting, speculating, arguing. It was chaos online. The meltdown turned into the moment everyone was talking about, and nobody saw it coming. Some fans said there were technical issues that night, but others weren't buying it. They swore Brandy just didn't look well at all. Some even claimed she was shaking, slurring her words, and looking completely out of it before she vanished backstage. People were demanding refunds, saying the concert ended too soon and they didn't get what they paid for.
The Boy Is Mine. I didn't pay for the tickets, but I want my money back.
Then the theories started flying everywhere. Was Brandy drunk? High? Did she faint? Fans knew something serious had gone down, and it didn't help that Monica finished the show like a total pro. Calm, polished, and holding it all together while Brandy was nowhere in sight. That's when the whispers got louder, with folks claiming Monica allegedly told someone backstage that Brandy wasn't okay, and suddenly the story flipped into full gossip mode. People saying Monica had spilled that Brandy was using drugs.
I didn't go into the Boy Is Mine tour, and they don't play The Boy Is Mine. I think something happened to Brandy, conspiracy theory, that she was on stage, and then out of nowhere, she goes, "Hey y'all, the sound is off, the sound is off." It's weird.
But Brandy didn't stay quiet for long. The very next day, she jumped on Instagram with a long, heartfelt post explaining her side of the story. She apologized deeply to fans, saying the walk-off wasn't planned at all. She wrote, "Thank you all for the overwhelming love, support, and most importantly, your prayers. I sincerely apologize for the abrupt end to last night's performance in Chicago." She claimed that after weeks of non-stop rehearsals, she'd been dealing with dehydration and felt like she was about to faint. Brandy explained that her team decided her health had to come first, and she even tried to go back on stage, but couldn't because the performance was highly technical and needed perfect sound sync. It all sounded reasonable: dehydration, exhaustion, pressure, age, but fans weren't convinced. Online sleuths started connecting dots, pointing out that this wasn't Brandy's first health scare, and old clips started resurfacing. The internet smelled drama, and it was only getting messier. Turns out, this wasn't Brandy's first health scare. She'd been hospitalized before after what police described as a possible seizure. Back then, Brandy chalked it up to dehydration and poor nutrition too. So when she dropped the same excuse again, fans were side-eyeing hard. People started wondering if there was more to the story this time around. But what really stirred the pot was Monica's reaction. While Brandy was still recovering, Monica went on social media to thank fans for coming out and said, "Not every night goes the way it's supposed to."
Brandy's family deeply concerned about her health today after an emergency that saw her getting rushed to the hospital yesterday after she fell ill at her home.
She never mentioned Brandy's name, but fans instantly caught the shade, especially when she added that she knows how to keep going no matter what happens. That line right there had people clutching their phones like, did she really just say that? From that moment, the internet split into two camps. Some were calling Monica heartless, saying she threw Brandy under the bus, while others swore Brandy was playing the victim and trying to make Monica look bad. It was a full-blown stan war, Team Brandy versus Team Monica, and everyone had receipts, theories, and hot takes flying left and right. Then came the wildest rumor yet. Some fans started saying Monica exposed Brandy by hinting there was way more to the story. And whispers popped up that Brandy had allegedly OD'd backstage while Monica was trying to save the tour from collapsing. That's when things went nuclear online. But to understand why it got this messy, you gotta look at the roots of their tension. This tour wasn't just business, it was personal. Brandy and Monica's feud goes way back to the late 90s, when they were still teens. Brandy was 18, Monica was 17, and everyone around them kept feeding that rivalry. They even had a real fight backstage before their 1998 MTV performance. This drama's been brewing for decades, and it's finally boiling over. Over the years, both Brandy and Monica built their own solo empires, barely speaking to each other. Fans thought the beef was finally squashed when they reunited for that unforgettable Versus battle in 2020. It looked like two queens finally making peace. Then they even teamed up again for a surprise cameo in Ariana Grande's The Boy Is Mine remix video, singing that iconic line, "You need to give it up, had about enough." It was pure nostalgia and unity. At least that's what it looked like. So when the Boy Is Mine tour was announced, fans were hyped beyond belief. It felt like a beautiful full-circle moment. Peace, sisterhood, and a celebration of R&B history. But all that joy started fading the minute Brandy's shocking exit in Chicago hit the headlines. Soon after, people claiming to be backstage started dropping unsettling comments, saying something way more serious went down and hinting that it wasn't just dehydration. And you already know the internet. Once those whispers start, it's chaos. Before long, gossip sites exploded with headlines about Brandy's collapse, and fans were convinced her team was doing heavy damage control to keep the real story from leaking. Rumors spun so fast that even industry insiders started side-eyeing the situation. But to be fair, Brandy herself came forward and said she did see a doctor right after that show and followed all the proper steps to recover. She even performed the very next night in Indianapolis like nothing happened. Her vocals flawless, energy back, crowd loving it. Still, people couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't adding up. The timing, the mystery, the tension. It all made this situation feel much deeper than just exhaustion. And to make matters worse, Brandy's been going through it off stage too. Around the same time as her 2022 health scare, she got slammed with multiple lawsuits. Her longtime housekeeper, who worked for her for nearly 20 years, sued her for age discrimination, unpaid wages, and emotional distress, claiming Brandy fired her just because she was over 60. The timing couldn't have been worse, one storm after another, and fans were starting to wonder if Brandy was holding it all together or just trying to survive the spotlight. The lawsuit claimed Brandy didn't pay her longtime housekeeper properly, skipped giving her breaks, and even refused to pay for the last 2 days of work. But that wasn't the only mess, because right after that, a fashion designer came forward accusing Brandy and her stylists of never returning a $45,000 check diamond ring she loaned them for a photo shoot. Like, how do you forget to return a diamond ring? It's been one storm after another for Brandy lately, and it's showing. When you pile all that together, the lawsuits, the stress, the nonstop pressure, the health scares, and the reality of time catching up, it paints the picture of someone who's seriously overwhelmed. Physically, mentally, maybe even financially. And fans are starting to wonder if Brandy's finally hit her breaking point. Meanwhile, Monica's been fighting her own battles too. Just weeks before the tour kicked off, she revealed that one of her vocal cords had temporary paralysis. Yes, you heard that right, one of her vocal cords. Still, she powered through rehearsals, performing night after night, saying, "It's just one of them days that a girl goes through." She made it clear she wasn't after sympathy. She just believed in faith, persistence, and hard work to keep pushing forward. That alone explains why Monica handled the Chicago chaos so calmly. She's been through her own storms and refused to fold. But imagine how that must have felt for Brandy, watching Monica shine on stage while she was forced to step back because of health problems. That's gotta sting, especially when fans started comparing them online, saying things like, "Monica's carrying the whole tour." That kind of talk fuels drama instantly. And social media loves nothing more than turning two women's pain into entertainment. Now insiders are saying Brandy is furious, not necessarily at Monica herself, but at how the whole narrative flipped against her again. Apparently, she feels betrayed that Monica didn't step up publicly to shut down those overdose rumors sooner. While Brandy's name was being dragged all over social media, Monica stayed silent, focused on the next show, unbothered and graceful. And that silence? It's driving Brandy crazy. A lot of people out here really believe there might be some truth behind the gossip. Some even claimed that Brandy's team wanted Monica to drop a joint statement saying Brandy wasn't using any drugs. But allegedly, Monica's camp said no. Now, whether that's fact or rumor, one thing's clear. There's tension again. And that's heartbreaking, because this tour was supposed to be about healing, growth, and two powerful women finally moving past their old rivalry. But right now, the vibe feels off. Sure, they're still on tour, and that's something, but insiders say the energy between them backstage has cooled a lot. Word is, they're keeping it professional on stage, but personally, things are distant again. That sisterhood energy they were talking about in interviews, yeah, that might have faded for now. Let's be real though. Touring is brutal. You're hopping from city to city, barely sleeping, singing your lungs out, hitting press runs, rehearsals, meet and greets, all while trying to stay flawless for the cameras. That kind of schedule will break down even the strongest. For someone like Brandy, who's already had a history with exhaustion, that's a dangerous lane to be in. Now, that doesn't mean she's out here using anything, but it does mean she's pushing herself way too hard. When your body hits the wall, it's not always a choice. Sometimes it's a total shutdown. And the sad part, in this industry, perception is everything. You could be dehydrated, jet-lagged, or just burnt out. And before you can even open your eyes, the headlines are screaming addiction and meltdown. That's how fast stories get twisted out here. It's wild how one faint moment can spark a full-blown scandal, but that's the game. And Brandy's finding out just how cruel that spotlight can be. Now the whispers keep getting louder, and fans are starting to wonder if this sisterhood tour can even survive the pressure. Every city they hit, someone's recording clips, analyzing body language, and trying to figure out if Brandy and Monica are really cool or just faking it for the cameras. Some shows, they hug and smile like besties, but others, you can feel that chill in the air. Even fans in the front rows are saying the energy shifts depending on the night, like something's bubbling under the surface. And you know how social media gets? One side swears Monica's the professional one holding it down, while the other side claims Brandy's the one carrying the vocals and the legacy. The internet's turning it into a battle again, dragging up old interviews, shade moments, and ancient tea from the 90s like it just happened yesterday. Every little smirk, every pause, every look is getting turned into a conspiracy clip. It's exhausting to watch, but people can't look away. Insiders say Brandy's team is trying hard to keep things tight, controlling the narrative, staying positive online, and keeping her health updates private. But it's not easy when bloggers and fan pages are dissecting her every move. Even one missed note or a canceled meet and greet turns into headlines about another episode. That kind of pressure would break anybody down, especially someone already dealing with lawsuits, rumors, and non-stop comparisons. Meanwhile, Monica's over there moving like a boss. She's hitting her notes, posting motivational captions, and showing her fans she's unshaken by the noise. Some people think that confidence is what's upsetting Brandy even more, because every time Monica stays silent, it makes her look stronger while Brandy looks defensive. And in this industry, optics matter more than the truth. It's a cruel game of perception, and Brandy knows it too well. Behind the scenes, people close to both camps say the tension is still simmering, but the money's too good to walk away. These two are professionals, and the bag's the bag. They'll smile for the lights, sing their songs, and keep it moving, even if they don't speak a single word once the curtains close. The show must go on, right? Still, fans can't shake the feeling that something big is coming. A breaking point, a leaked clip, or maybe a tell-all moment that'll blow everything wide open. With every city stop, the rumors grow and the cameras keep rolling, waiting for the next meltdown or shade moment to hit the timeline. So if you think this drama's cooling off anytime soon, think again. The Boy Is Mine tour has officially turned into The Beef Is Back, and it's shaping up to be one of the juiciest celebrity storylines of the year. Stay tuned, because this show isn't over yet. Right now, The Boy Is Mine tour is still rolling strong, and fans are packing out arenas night after night. Tickets keep selling, the music's still hitting, and both Brandy and Monica are doing their best to keep things looking professional. But make no mistake, everybody's watching. Especially after that chaotic Chicago show, eyes are glued to every single performance, waiting to see if Brandy's okay or if another moment like that might happen again. Because if she has even one more health scare, this whole thing could spiral fast. Promoters might start pulling shows, refunds could pile up, and that could seriously mess with her rep in the touring game. Brandy's been a powerhouse for decades, but one wrong move on stage could change everything in this cutthroat industry. On the flip side, if she keeps showing up, proving why she's still the vocal Bible, giving solid performances and staying honest with her fans, she could flip this whole story around. From controversy to comeback, the kind that shuts down every rumor and reminds everyone why she's an R&B icon. And let's be real, nobody hits those runs like Brandy when she's in her zone. Still, this whole situation has so many layers: health, pride, friendship, and legacy all tangled up. What started as a nostalgic reunion has now turned into an emotional roller coaster where every headline cuts a little deeper. And through it all, social media keeps fanning the flames, spreading wild theories, digging up old interviews, and twisting anything for clicks. But no matter what's said online, only Brandy and Monica truly know what went down that night. Whether it was exhaustion, stress, or something way deeper, that truth stays between them. What the world sees is just the surface, the music, the smiles, the glam. But behind that curtain, it's pain, pressure, and the price of fame. At the end of the day, all we can hope is that Brandy's really okay. Mind, body, and soul. Because as she once sang herself, she's still sitting on top of the world, and fans just want her to stay there. Strong, healthy, and shining like the legend she is.